live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Mental health moment.
Yeah.
All right, now, don't fight me. I have not seen Dez Bryant's I Am Athlete, the one that he was on with everybody, right? And so, well, I haven't seen the entire thing. You know, I saw a couple of the clips and stuff like that. And so him sharing about his anxiety and depression in 2019, and the fact that he went to the hospital 20 times, not knowing what was going on with him. Like that part, because I've heard that before, you know, you and I talked about a story of, someone, who kind of dealt with the same thing, but, I know someone too, who's like, they thought a panic attack was a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so when we discuss these things about mental health, and when I see people lacking the empathy to understand that our mental health 100% affects our physical health, which affects our balance overall, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes me proud that someone like Dez Bryant, someone who we may have looked at kind of in the same way that we looked at Brandon Marshall before we understood
what was happening.
Right.
Absolutely. Before he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Mm-hmm.
Right. It makes me feel, it makes me proud to see someone like him come forward and share his story in a way that we would have never even known. Some of us would have just held these preconceived notions about who Dez Bryant was. And this really gave a lot of context. Now I need to watch the entire thing, but
yeah, because it's not just this part that shared so much insight for me on who he is and why he is the way he is, but it was the entire story of his upbringing, of all of it. It all plays such a huge, I was like, oh, and I will say this, because we don't have insight. We don't have inside contact with a lot of these people that we do. It's so funny how we judge from just what we see in one small little corner of what their lives are, which is what they do for a living. That's so unfair. Like, I really am saying I was gonna have to check myself from now on, because this is the second person I'm like, wait, I had this whole idea of this person being blah, 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 but hearing this makes me see so much stuff about, and knowing now, having had this brief moment to see him as just Dez Bryant, the person, and his passion, and he is so much a guy who wants to see everybody succeed. Mm-hmm. And that is not what you would get if all you knew was what is portrayed of him from the football side. Mm-hmm. When you watch it, call me, we'll have a conversation, because it totally I was taken aback, I ain't gonna lie, by this whole thing, because there's two parts. Yeah. There's two parts, and just him and just watching him. But this particular piece of it about his misinformation and non-clear understanding of what was happening to him is probably the story of 90% of the people who are undiagnosed.
Yeah.
Because they just don't know. And I will speak specifically to our African-American culture to say, it's not like we have conversations in our households, not just about going to therapy, but about some of these diagnoses that people can have, right? Nobody heard about borderline personality disorder before Brandon Marshall said it to a lot, well, not nobody, but some people, most people had no idea that this even existed, right?
Right.
I have it's a little different because I studied therapy. So I understand a lot of not a lot, some, because there's a whole bunch of them, some of the diagnoses, the typical ones that are in the DSM.
Yeah.
But for him to have gone to the hospital 20 times shows you what you just spoke about. It starts here, but it ends up here. It's physiological. It becomes a physiological thing. And him probably having symptoms of heart palpitations or, just these, I can't remember if he actually talked about like some of the symptoms. What was sending him back and forth to the hospital. But just to know that you had gone 20 times, that speaks volumes.
Right.
Who goes to the hospital 20 times in a year? Crazy. Unless you got some kind of serious illness, right? Like, but what?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he was properly diagnosed and that he has been able to put a treatment plan that works for him together.
Yeah.
As long as you stay in the place of acknowledging and recognizing and acknowledging it, you can function and be okay. We're watching Brandon Marshall do it every day.
Right.
But when you're in that space and don't know, you just going through what you don't even understand. I'm sure that was some of what we saw with Dez Bryant on the sidelines. Some of the tantrums and stuff that looked very like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you acting like you didn't know how to deal with and express what was really, you were really feeling.
Yeah.
So I admire him as well for his stance to share his story and be willing to share his story. And I love that he said that I Am Athlete podcast was the only place he felt comfortable coming to do so.
Yeah. It was a perfect place for him to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He said he knew he could be vulnerable there.
Yeah.
And I love that they've given people that platform. People who typically wouldn't get that. People who preconceived notions are already out there about who they are and what they do. So I love it. Yeah. Good stuff.
Good final thought.
Listen.
Now, I knew it was only a matter of time. That Bubba Wallace would win a race, and he won not just any race.
Right.
He won Talladega.
Listen, nobody, if you don't know racing, Talladega is like one of the pinnacle. It's like Daytona in Talladega.
Yeah, right. Daytona in Talladega.
Yeah.
And so he's only the second African American NASCAR driver in history to win a Cup Series.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if just to go back to I Am Athlete. I remember when they had him on there and they were talking about like just him and having the vehicle to win a race and stuff like that. And I just thought that was interesting because I'm like, well, if you know that your car can't win, like what makes you
why do you get out here into this? Right.
But he spoke about like the anomalies. And because he's with Jordan Brand, that kind of upped, how his car could be configured and stuff like that. And so to actually see him win after that whole noose debacle, that never got really cleared up in my opinion.
It's not just your opinion. It never got cleared up.
At all. To see him win was just a proud moment.
Absolutely. Now, what I don't want, because they had to stop the race at like 3 laps left because of the weather.
Right.
Don't do that to him because he was winning because I'm sure it's been times in the past where people have won races when
when
they had stopped.
Yeah.
So y'all not finna put no asterisk, no. This is his win, and you're gonna give it to him, and he deserves it. So kudos to you, Bubba Wallace.
Yes.
Thank you for, I know you're not the first, but you probably are the most popular African American to ever be in NASCAR, and that makes you a trailblazer. And so thank you for going out, and then to have Michael Jordan be your sponsor is also trailblazing. So thank you for going out and doing your thing and continuing to be diligent to this as you were able to, and it paid off for you. So that's a spiritual thing all in itself right there. Like, just stay the course.
Yeah.
Because you'll get where you're supposed to get. You'll get what I have for you if you stay the course, saith the Lord. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So kudos, Bubba Wallace. Yes, congratulations, sir. All right.
Show picks. What you watching?
So this show is going to be network broadcast, kind of network television game changer.
Okay.
It is like Queen Sugar did for cable.
Okay.
This will do for network TV.
Wow, really?
Morris Chestnut, Debbie Allen, Lance Gross.
H.U.
Who else? What's my dad's name from Daddy Pope? Oh my God, why can't I think of his name?
Oh yes, I can't think of his name either, but I know.
Oh my God, Morton. Joe Morton.
Yes.
Joe Morton.
Joe Morton. Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of her name. The main person in the show. I can't think of her name right now. But when that's a powerhouse cast.
Yeah.
And the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
This is something we have not seen on network television.
Yeah.
It's the Black Hamptons.
Okay.
So these are elite, wealthy Black people.
Right. And
then this chick from Chicago steps into town.
Yes. Okay. I've seen the trailer for it.
It's
on Fox, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It's on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can catch it on Hulu. Yes. It's gonna be good.
Okay.
I hope it makes it. And if it doesn't make it on network TV, somebody gonna pick it up from the other end, because that's what they do. So this is going to be good. And the other thing I've been watching, couldn't believe it was back. Sad to see it go, because this was the final season of On My Block.
Yes. I got
so good.
So, I love that show. I've only seen episode 1. But shout out to J-Boy. J-Boy just be saying anything. J-Boy was like, speaking about the character Jamal, was like, that's going to be Jack when he get older.
Jamal is a lot, okay?
Yeah.
Look, what she
super
call
dramatic.
him? What does Abuela call him? Hamal. Hamal is a lot. Hamal is a lot. I don't know if he gonna be like that. Okay. But yeah, no, that's a good show.
Yeah, I really like that show.
I was sad to see it go, but it went out perfect for that show. That's what I'll say.
Okay. So I got,
because I watched it like 2 days. I was like, oh my God, my God is back. So I was like, because it's only like 29 minutes. Like, I can do this.
Yeah. All right. So my
what
show,
you watching?
The Closer. Dave
Oh, Lord.
Chappelle has done it again.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle has done it again. And people are already calling to have the show, have the special like boycotted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I truly, truly would question if the people who are calling for this special to be boycotted, if they actually listen to the material. And I mean, not like a soundbite, because you can hear a clip and it can be misconstrued, but to hear the entire, like, I'm gonna call it a monologue, but that's not the correct term I'm looking for. But you hear the entire monologue, the entire entirety of what he's saying. Like he is truly a comedic genius. The way that he's able to have you look at,
every day. Yeah.
It is mind blowing.
But when has he not been controversial? So why would anybody be surprised? He is just gonna say what he say, and you go, I said what I said, and I'm good with it. I'm unapologetic about it. And so the people who produced it, who gave him this opportunity, they knew he was gonna be controversial.
Right.
Because that's him. That's how he is.
Right.
Because he says what he feels.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always mean that you agree. Again, we back to this whole thing of what we were talking about. Doesn't mean you always agree with it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he's a comedian. So lighten up, first of all. Lighten up.
Yeah.
And if he getting at you that hard with what he's saying, maybe you need to check you.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
anyway. Okay. That's a good one. Okay.
Any of you all who haven't seen it yet, please make your way to see it. Make your way to see it and judge it for yourself,
Yeah.
But I think that you would probably feel the way that Stephanie and I feel about it.
It's Dave Chappelle. I mean,
right.
I go into it with a same thing with Kevin Hart, Cat Williams. Everybody got their own style. Yeah. And so when I already know. Right? The person that I don't like, I know what style he is. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't like it, right? But I know that, so I don't.
Are you talking about D.L. Hughley?
Uh-huh. What? I don't. So it's okay though.
You gotta go listen to D.L. Hughley again. I will not. So
every day that I go to, on Tuesdays, I work in the afternoons. And so I get in my car and it's on a station that he's syndicator for.
Oh yeah. So you hear the radio
show. I hear him on there.
Annoyed by
okay.
Him. Yeah.
Okay. Like you irk people. You got a whole segment on your radio show called "Get at DL" or something. Yeah. Like what? Like yeah. Okay. So anyway, but yeah. All right. We're at the end.
We're at the end of another one.
Yeah.
Episode 130 in the books.
Woo!
If you guys want to get at us.
Yes, God, you made sure that
this happened. Right.
Yes.
Lord. Yesterday we were like, I don't know. Maybe we should take a week off.
Right. The week we take off? Yeah. All right.
But, definitely, if you guys want to reach out to us, just to offer your opinion, the support, just to give us some feedback, hit us up at fieldthenumber2therealpodcast@gmail.com. We're on IG and Twitter, so you can reach out to us there. On IG, it's at fieldthenumber2therealpodcast. On Twitter, it's at fieldthenumber2therealp1. You can go to our Facebook page, and that kind of alerts you guys of when we drop new videos. So come to our Facebook page and subscribe or whatever you do on Facebook.
I think you like on Facebook.
You like it, yeah. But that Facebook page should take you straight to our YouTube page, where you can go to our YouTube page, subscribe, you can like, share, comment, and
no, not you can. You should.
Yeah, you should. Yes, you definitely should. And not none of that inappropriate stuff that I be saying sometimes that I gotta erase.
Lord have mercy.
But you know, we certainly appreciate the feedback. And those of you who like call us and text us and let us know how you feel about the show, thank you guys so much for that.
That's just your folks, because I don't get those.
Really?
Well, not really.
Yeah.
No. That's your folks.
I get them a couple of times a week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's not me. Maybe because I'm always really right. I don't know what it is.
Step.
I'm just
shots
kidding.
fired. No, that's real though, because that's usually some of the calls I get. Like, nah, I'm riding with Steph this time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
And,
yeah,
I don't return those text messages.
You know, I was just playing, y'all. I'm not listening. Man, I'm not.
No, Steph. We just got to accept it that you typically are who's really right. And I've accepted that. I accepted it a long time ago. You know, I had my little ones here and there, but out of 100.
And you know, we never go back and talk about the who's really right. We should start doing that.
You know what? We should have a whole episode dedicated just to going back and looking at
who's
really
should.
Right. Especially those ones where we can actually see, like, okay, this
what happened. We thought that's a good idea. We should, because I'm like, we never really come back and talk about who won the who's really right.
Right.
We need to do that. Okay.
We'll dedicate an episode to that.
Yeah. That sounds good.
All right, guys. Okay. As always, we truly appreciate you guys for listening. We love you guys. But we out of here. Peace. Lord. I ain't even gonna say it this time.
Okay. You see me, I put them up like, peace.
Oh, Lord. All right, y'all.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.